too good. So let's see if we can't tweak that just a little. That's kind of really what we wanted, didn't it? Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to get. That's what we got. All right. Okay. So let's get this all started. Where my headphones at? Found them over here. Got this cute little sign. This is on there. I don't know whatever we're on, but we're on something. Right, we'll take it, right? Okay. Anyway, what I'm gonna make is a bear and a raccoon. At least that's what I'm thinking. A bear and a raccoon on a hiking trip. Now I've seen different people, and it was actually Theo Woodchucker the other day. He made the bear that was backpacking hiking bear, and it made me think I want to make one of them. But then I want to put my own twist to it. Now I've seen Kyle Hall. He made one. Real cool looking bear. Was walking sick, hiker. And, it was really cool too. So I thought, yeah, you ought to try to put your own twist on it. So I think what I'm going to do is, I have this piece down here. It's kind of an odd piece of wood anyway. And I think I'm going to take this odd piece of wood and see if we can't carve a raccoon down here, bear up here, and maybe some rocks, a little bit of rock system here. I'm not sure how it's going to look. And honestly, I didn't really get too much time to think about it. Let's see if we get cracked. I'm not sure about that. But I think I'm going to zip that off with this big saw anyway. But let's just see what comes out. I'm just going to have to think my way through it. I'm probably not going to talk much, but we'll see. Not sure. I'm honestly just not sure what this is going to look like. Kind of thinking maybe I should give him a hat, but then I'm like, that's some extra complication to the process, to give him a hat, but maybe not. I don't really know. That said, there's 250 of you watching. Be sure and hit that like button. Click, click, click. Come on, let's go with the likes. I appreciate it, guys. Hit that like button as fast as you can. The more of you hit it, the better it is for me. Unless you hate me, and that's okay too. Sometimes I don't like me. You know what I mean? Ask the boss lady. Sometimes she don't like me. That's it. If you can hit the like, I'd sure appreciate it. In fact, I haven't used this one all day. All right. I think, looking at it, I think I could give him a hat, ball cap type deal. Let's try it. I might not like it, I'll just cut it off if I don't. for challenging myself, but this could go right. I don't honestly know. I've only made one bear with a hat on it so far, and I didn't care for it. That said, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hey, hit that like button as fast as you can. I appreciate y'all hitting that. Thank you for being here, and be sure to subscribe. I don't know why you wouldn't. I'm a hell of a guy! Okay, so far, that seems like it's coming together. You know, it's a little more trucker hat, but that's all right. I mean, we'll work our way out. I don't know that it'll be any good at all, but let's see. Y'all just hit the like button. To work that in. But it's starting to look like a ball cap. That's the plan. Oh, some gum in there, and I might regret spitting it there. It might end up in my boots. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a Cleveland Browns. It'd have to be Ohio State, you know what I mean? Anyway, hit that like button. Appreciate you guys being in there. Hey, somebody gave us $2 already. Hey, what's going on, Shoops? Baby Kisses, the Electric Whittler. Glad to see y'all in there. Heck yeah. So we kind of got a hat, roughed out hat, blocked out, looking pretty good. What's tricky is getting a bear face under that hat. So I guess I'm gonna start on that now. I want you guys, I'm giving you homework. I want you to think about this. Would a bear and a raccoon go on a hiking trip together? I think, yeah, I think they would. Food, you know, and all that. I mean, one could stand the reason that, oh, you know, I don't think it'd be too much competition. They'd be fighting each other. But no, you know, raccoon, he just grab something and run up a tree. The bear could come up a tree too, but you can't go out on the thin limbs that the raccoon could, though. You know what I mean? Ball cap is looking, you know, pretty close. So I'm going to try to dig the face out now. It's going to be tricky. I mean, I've only made a hat on a bear one at a time. This one's going to have his ears sticking out. That's going to be the difference. Starting to poke out of that, and it won't be much. I actually could probably just cut them off about there and dig in the face. I'm just taking my time. I don't want to get ahead and screw this up. of this with all this up in here and trying not to chip that hat off. And of course that hat, the bill's gonna have to be kind of out and over. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm taking my time. He's got sunglasses on. No. But you can see that it did kind of come out, you know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, if you haven't hit the like button already, be sure and hit it. And we will keep going. somewhere. We got face out. Of course, this is going to be cut back and angled some, but at least it's in there. And I dug in here too deep, so I had to go back over here more with that one. But starting to get a face in here, muzzle. I'm not sure if I want the mouth open or not. I don't think so, but right now I'm just not sure. I'm going to work the roundness of that. But you can kind of see the head's coming into shape there. I wonder if I'll zoom that in just a little bit. Wouldn't hurt, would it? And y'all hit the like button. We'll keep cutting. It kind of looks like a monkey with a hat on right now, doesn't it? But that said, let's see. I'll zoom out just a little bit and we'll keep going. You guys hit the like button and we'll keep on rocking. Hey, I appreciate that. All right, woodchucker. Let's do it. Make up my mind about the mouth, whether I want the mouth to be open or not. I don't know. It's just one of them things. I kind of like making them with open mouths, but it's just going to add a layer of difficulty. But I'm alright. Alright, we'll grab another one. That's the way it goes. One's done, we'll grab another one. Looking at it, and I just can't make up my mind which way I want to go with. I think it, look, if you just cut it in there, you can always change it. I don't know. open mouth. All right, what's that mean about him? I can't say. All right, but hit the like. Appreciate y'all being in here. Hey, it's 540 people watching. Be sure to subscribe. All right. We get the armchair chainsaw carver says, "Oh, your chain's too loose. Oh, it's gonna come off." All right, if it does. And okay, so he's gonna have his walking stick, and we got to kind of start a block for the walking stick, and then we'll put the walking stick's gonna kind of go down that way. But we need to dig a little block out and start digging that out. I don't want to get too carried away cutting here until I get it. It's a little bit of time. I mean, listen, hey, what do we got here? Heck yeah, $5 from the shops, man. Appreciate that. Pizza for the bear. Heck yeah, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, shops, so y'all going to be on tonight? Be sure to let everybody know. If I'm going to dig his staff out, I probably ought to bring his arm around to where it's going to be. His hand will be around his front paw, upper paw, whatever paw, his uncle paw. It'll be right there. If a chainsaw carver farts in a live stream and nobody hears it, is Deland in there? If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? out because I don't know how far this is going to go down. He might be staying on a rock. I really just haven't made up my mind yet, but it's going to be something like that. But what are we up to in the likes? Hey, 92. We ought to get to 100. Let's get to 100. Help us out. Be sure to subscribe. If there's 700 people watching, you ought to be 700 of you subscribe. Why not? I'm a fun loving guy. Starting to come together, this upper arm reaching around here, grabbing a hold of the staff. He's ready to beat somebody with it, another hiker. I don't know. Maybe he's going to beat the raccoon. We'll debate that later. Be violent with the stick. Ain't that kind of profiling the bears? He's a bear! I mean, for Christ's sake. Hey, what do we got here? 600 people watching. It should be 600 people subscribed. Come on, let's but watch on a regular basis. If you didn't notice, Casey did a test live there yesterday to see, so you can count on seeing Creation Dust Wednesday, I believe. Anyway, hey, 900 people checking it out. Be sure to subscribe. So, honestly, I haven't even made up my mind what he's going to be doing with this arm. I'm just not really sure. Maybe I'll just kind of bring it around and down, just kind of like not really doing much of nothing. I don't know. Not too bad. I don't want to get too carried away over here from a raccoon space. You know, he's going to be kind of hanging out with him too. And I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. I mean, this is actually, I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. I got a lot I could do on the back too, but that wouldn't be any fun for you guys to watch. You know what I mean? That said, be sure to hit the like button. What are we up to? 92 rubies and 8.99. Man, you guys are so nice to me. I sure appreciate you guys giving me that stuff. That's awesome. Okay. Pretty good. Not too bad, not too good. Well, I'm thinking about where to go next. I think I want to take some of this shoulder out. Let me do that first, okay. Looking at it straight on. Yeah, that's a little proportion decent. Not too bad, not too good. Somewhere in the middle, that's where we're trying to be. too bad, not too good. What are we up to right now? Let's see. 110 likes. I think we could get more likes. And be sure to subscribe while you're at it. All right. So I want to reach up in here and take out what I can. I don't want to take out too much, but there's a great big lump in here that doesn't belong. It's going to be tricky to get it out. So we're going to try. Digging him out. It's real tricky in here. That's the downside of that. That's pretty tricky. And then I don't want to get too carried away over here yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that raccoon. But we'll zoom out just a little bit. You can see it a little bit more. And y'all be sure and hit the like button if you haven't already and subscribe. All right, so there we go. See if we can't get out to this piece just a little bit. I might have to turn that. There we go. It's just wanting to be funny. It's wanting to fight me. Fight me, Billy. Fight me. Okay. All right. Let's see. That's going to be the trickiest part. But I got plenty of room over here still to put a raccoon. So I think I'm going to start taking some of this piece right here out. And we'll go from there. bit of a hip and a belly going here. And so I got an idea. My foot's going to end up there. That's what I'm thinking. This one here, I'm not really sure. I might even have a raccoon with like his foot on the bear, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Or maybe his paws up on the bear. I'm just not really sure. I'm just winging it. We'll see. Much in here, and this material takes a while to get out, but that's it. I'm going to get it out because I don't think his chest is too bad here. It's like if you look at animal rib cage, usually it comes out to a point up high in the rib cage, and so that's not too bad, but he needs to lose a lot of material below that, and it's going to take a minute to get it out. Hope everybody's doing pretty good. I think I deserve to stop and take a drink real quick. But that's what we got so far. I think he's looking pretty cute. What do you guys think? Hopefully you guys are hitting subscribe. It looks like we got a lot of likes so far. Not too bad. Yeah, 125. We definitely take more. But man, I'll tell you, people giving me gifts. That's really nice. I appreciate you guys doing that. What we got? We got John Shops. What's going on, Billy? Heck yeah. Susie Q. Yeah. Hey, Whittling Monkeys. Well, you know, buddy, I bet you're in the snow. Yeah. Heck yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to put some fuel in this baby. And we'll go from there. But I don't think he's too bad. You know, he's coming along. A little bit here, a little bit there. How time is it? 8:26. Okay. So we ain't even been on here very long. That's the irony of it. 7:30. Yeah, it was 7:30. So about an hour. Time flies and you're having a good time. That's for sure. And the other thing is these stalls, you know, run that long. And yeah, I'll stop and say something here or something there. But it's not that long. It don't take that long. I'm going to gas this baby back up. And keep peeling. I could have went with the 12-inch regular 12-inch bar though. I could have, but I didn't, and I do, right? So I was gonna try Prism today, and the reason is I like it. Like Matt Carves, he uses it, and I like that music. I think that's cool. And that might not be for everybody, I don't know. But I thought it was cool, and I thought I would try it. And honestly, I chickened out because I'm just not 100% positive what the chat was going to look like, and a couple other things. And I thought, nah, I better not do it. It might mess up the space-time continuum. We never know. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I think with the bear, I'm going to stop and work on the... Let's start digging our raccoon out. Figure out where he's going to be. Uh-oh. What we got here? Heck yeah, Plywood's a member. Heck yeah, he's a schmuckster. Awesome, Plywood. I appreciate that, buddy. Heck yeah. Okay, somebody else did something too. That's pretty cool. All right, let's see if we can't zoom in. Get this a little better. Hey, what do we got here? Hey, I appreciate that. Baby Kisses. Man, Baby Kisses, you're going to go broke. She's so sweet. Always giving us money. She takes care of the community, that's for sure. Super sweet. Let's see. Let's see if I can get that bent down enough. Okay, yeah, I had the charger. I unplugged the charger. I'm not going to need it. But I think that I ought to start digging that raccoon out just a little bit. And I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. But I know this much. His face is going to be facing this way. He's not going to have a hat on, unlike the bear. So I can go ahead and dig his face out and, go from there. So let's do that. I heard that. Get that to where it's a little more visible. I don't know. Here, let's do this. Let's do some adjustments. See if we can't get this back to where the yeah, there we go. And I'm not so in the way. That'll be another nice thing about it. Okay. But yeah, the bear's looking pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with him. It's different. He's got a little bigger head than I'd preferred, but trying to make it work. Hey, if you haven't subscribed already, why not? get that piece out, ain't it? But it is what it is. It's still going to be pretty cool. Appreciate you guys being in here. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure and do it. Turn that a little bit. I must have hit it with a wood chip or something. That's the only thing I could figure. But it's super cute. Digging this raccoon out. He's hanging out with a bear. I don't want to cut too deep if I can help it. And I'm just not sure where like the front legs and all that's going to be, so trying not to get too crazy, but his head's starting to come along pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. He's looking pretty cute. Cute little guy. bad, not too good. Kind of cute. Might be a little hard to see from there. I don't know, but I think he looks good. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do next with him here. I haven't made up my mind yet. What I do know is I got to do a lot of back work on these guys. I could even have him hanging out of a stump, but I don't think so. I think I want to make him like he's partners with this guy. They're on their own trip. Maybe we could take and put raccoon arm up here on the bear. You know, he'd be like short little leg going up here on the bear like he's got his arm on him. I think I want to do that. I like that idea. Yeah, I like that idea. Him reaching up and grabbing a hold of the bear. I think that's cute. It's not going to be a bad little thing anyway. Having his paw up there, he's putting it on his leg or something like that. You know, kind of figure as we go. But then this one here, this should probably be his shoulder, and this one here should come around. And we could give him a walking stick of his own, I suppose. It wouldn't be hard to do that with this paw right here. Yeah, I don't think I'd make it sticking out so much like that one, just to try to simplify it a little bit. But yeah, probably about right there. Let's dig his arm out. He's got his hand on top of him. You know what I mean? So bring it around there. He'll have this paw on top of the stick here. I'm going to go ahead and put the stick. that'll be his. He'll have his own little stick. I gotta come up here and take it. Bad. You can see where his hand's at, his arm's at, on top of his, and he's grabbing on the bear. You know, maybe he was about to fall and he rescued him. I don't know. Maybe they're just hanging out. They're good buddies. That's what I'm like. Man, what are we up to? Heck, we're up to $12.99. That's amazing. I appreciate that, guys. You guys are awesome. Hey, baby kisses, Susie Q, William Shoop. What's going on? Plywood. Heck yeah. Hi, Millie. If you're in there, I haven't seen you. But heck yeah. All right. Hey, be sure and subscribe if y'all hadn't already. I think that the raccoon, I want to have his tail out here, like coming right down here by the stick, and this is his back, so bring it around here so it's easy to tell what he is. And it'll cover up the front legs, so I may not even have to mess with that front leg at all. So, I mean, I want that tail to be kind of somewhere on the side, you know, where you can see, you know, if anybody wonders, hey, what's that? Is that is that another bear? Is it a little bear? You know, I mean, you know, because some people just don't know. You know what I mean? It ain't no big deal. All right. So at this point, I got to dig out. His body kind of comes up through there, and this guy's leg. Try to dig some more of this out, this section right here. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with his leg. I had thought about taking his leg and kind of curving it and having it here like on a rock or something. And that's the bear I'm talking about now. So maybe I'll see if I can't kind of cut that out. Kind of leg. I don't know. We'll see how it's going. I don't think it's too bad. Not too bad, not too good. I don't know what y'all think, but I'm enjoying it. I can tell you that. that's what we got so far, I guess. What are we up to? Hour and a half? Okay. Let's check him out a little closer. Zoom out first, right? Okay. Here, hold on a second. Let's see what we got. What do you think of that? Ain't that kind of cute? It probably looks backwards on there, but that said, let's see what we got here. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Roughing him in hat. It's a little tough to get those eyes in when it's like that. I mean, the eye cutter does pretty good, but you're not going to put no dip or anything. And, of course, like I said, I got to work on the back quite a bit. But I hate to do that in a live stream because you just don't see it. You know what I mean? And, nobody cares. That too. But that said, Mr. Raccoon, I mean, that's one big raccoon be hanging out with this bear, isn't it? He's grabbing him. He's probably letting him know. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm just letting you know. You ain't looking, I'm going to steal your food. I'd say that's what he's saying. But anyway, it's getting there. Not too bad, not too good, right? Let's see what you guys got. Okay, who has a plan? I wonder who. Hey, 52, what's going on, man? Glad to see you. Heck yeah. Hey, I appreciate that, buddy. All right. Hey, Matthew, what's going on, man? Hey, I appreciate that, Bill. Here, we'll turn around a little bit. All right, y'all, I ain't in a hurry today. Haley was getting sick, so I think I'm starting to get it a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. And that kind of sucks. I was just around a whole bunch of people. You know what I mean? And you hope they don't get too mad at you. But, what the heck? I might as well just stop, read the chat. I never do this. And I really should treat y'all better. So read some of the chat, see what you guys got to say. Let's see. Hey, Big Dog, what's up? A member. Heck yeah, what's up, buddy? Glad to see you in there. Big Dog is formerly Big Mex. He's still Big Mex to us, you know what I'm saying? But glad to see you in there, buddy. Anybody's watching and hadn't subscribed already, be sure and do it. Hey, Tim List. Yeah, he looks like he's ready for monkey business. He does look a little monkey-like. That's what I was thinking. I agree with that. Let's see. Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I wish I had some out here to show you. It's all in the Shandy. Hey, Heidi Shoot. What's going on? Heck yeah. Glad to see you in there. Heck yeah, John. What do you know? You guys want to see, okay, so was it Tuesday? I was working on the bear that was holding the light. I don't have the light done, but I got the eyes done. He's all painted. You guys want to see that? We'll walk over there and check him out. Hey, Monkey. Heck yeah, I'm glad you did, man. I'm pretty much done, but I'm going to walk in here in the garage to show you guys some stuff, and then I can come back out here and shut all this off. But, yeah, let's walk on in here, out of here, into there, and I can read a little bit of chat there, too. Because I just never do that, and I feel bad, but you guys know how it is. So much going on. You work for yourself, you work for somebody else. I have ministerial responsibilities on top of that, and family of 4. So we're busy folks. Not complaining. I love it. I don't have no problem falling asleep at night. Rarely ever. Okay. So here he is, and for whatever reason, I want to give him brown eyes. I thought that looks good. Maybe I give him brown eyes because he's full of it. I don't know. You know what I mean? We'll just have to see. But the light is the only thing left. And honestly, just to figure out what the light's going to be, I haven't made up my mind for that. Oh, he's cute, ain't he? Yeah. Heck yeah. Monkey. Oh, yeah. Monkey. Heck yeah. Anybody else that wants to be blue, too. Heidi, do you want to be a moderator? Big Mex, Big Dog, do you want to be a moderator? Let's see. I'm going to make Heidi one. Let's see. Let me scroll down there to Big Mex. Big Dog. Get him on there. Make him a blue man. All right. Okay. Yep. Got it. Good deal. Okay. You guys should be blue now. Let's see. Yep. Blue. There you go. Blue and blue. Heck yeah. All right. And anybody else? Oh, Heidi's like, what? Yeah. Hey, you're blue now. That's what. Anyway, I got this done. I give it a dry brush and a green, and I think it might be a little too much. I'm not sure. I'm also going to dry brush some white and some spots, and there's a chip. See that chip? But I'll fix that. I think he might be a little too green on camera. and the sun hits him and all that. But I'm also going to brush some white in there on him too. And I sent a picture of it to the guy that ordered this. He said, dude, that's excellent. I was like, all right, good. I said, I got some dry brushing, and then you never know, you might not like a dry brushing. It's hard to say. But I'm going to put in a little bit of white in there too. And then I got to fix a few spots where I chipped him with the brush before I clear coat. There's this guy. You guys have seen these though. I've made tons of these, and the reason is because they always sell. That's the way it goes. Heck yeah, I appreciate that, Matthew. Hey, tree fella. He's been around a long time. Let's fix this fella up. Okay, there you go. That's the thing. I mean, we don't have a lot of problems on our channel with too many people having to be hit by the moderators or anything like that, because there's so many of them. People know it's not going to go good, There's a horse, the lady coming to get that this week, I guess. But I made another one, and I like him. He's going to be more expensive. I got these cardinals under it. There's two of these. I made these out to, and I'm probably going to put out a video. It's going to have a little bit of what carving I did while I was out there to the Hocking Hills Lodge. All the pieces from the Hocking Hills Lodge, I made 6 pieces while I was out there, and they're all done. And it was a good thing because I sold all my cardinals within 2 hours, except for the giant one. But anyway, that's one. I mean, he's just like that one, really. But he's a little lighter piece, and that's one of the bigger pieces I got from Big Mex. I got a whole lot of smaller pieces, but these big pieces is what really does me the most good. I'm going to have to start doweling and gluing some of that smaller stuff together, I think. I don't know. But, yeah, that's what we got. And anyway, I think that's it, really. I mean, I did do a little bear over there. I've got some cardinals and a little bear, but this guy here, he just, I love the eyes. I might even have to start doing it with blue eyes and then put the black over it. Looks pretty good. At least I think so, But, yeah, I need more big dog. I need more, but I just need more the bigger stuff. It's like this is a 12-inch wide. It's probably 24. And that's the stuff. I can use that smaller stuff, but not like I can use this and bigger. So the bigger stuff, that's really what I needed. You get some more, did you? Heck yeah. If you got some more of this big stuff, I'd take a lot of this big stuff. Because that's the common stuff. And I can't use that little stuff. We made candy corns out of it back in the summertime. And a couple other things, I mean, you can make cute little gnomes and a few other stuff. I made, I just made a lot of stuff. It is what it is. I can't remember everything I did. But yeah, I could definitely use some more if you got that big wide stuff. Oh, I know you need a Brutus, but let me tell you, bud, I don't know if anybody can peel that one out of my hands. And if they can, it's because they got deep pockets, buddy. I'll tell you. But if you're interested, I will hook you up. It might, you might not like it, but I'll hook you up. I am super duper proud of Brutus. So I'm not going to lie. He come out awesome. And I'm not even 100% positive I would even sell him. But I did put him out by the road to see what happened. And I put what I feel like is one of those, for lack of a better word, they call it a go to hell price. How about that? And that's it. I don't know. I didn't want to say that, but that's the only thing I could come up with. Let's see. Uh-oh, he's going nuts. Heck yeah. But anyway, let's see this little bear. A little bear I made this morning. He still needs the black work done. His mouth, his nose, and eyes to get some black hair. And I won't brown him or nothing or blue or any of that. I'll just put black in there to give him a direction. And that's a snowman I made last year. I fixed the cracks that came in on it. We gave it to a lady we know. And anyway, I got some cracks. And she said, it's got some cracks. And, oh, man, she thought water got in it because it was so cold last year and cracked it. But we told her, no, I didn't have anything to do with it. It's just wet wood, and it was real heavy. And I was talking to her today and I said, I got that thing done. But it's like half the weight of what it was when she got it. And she's like, really? I was like, yeah, it just dried that much over the summer. It literally weighs half of what it did. Like firewood, I'm bringing in firewood that's been sitting over here. Some of it's been sitting over there for 4 years. And I mean, it's nice and dry, burns really good and hot, but it don't weigh nothing. It's just, there's no moisture in it at all. But anyway, That's what I know. Let's see. I was just checking. Somebody sent me a text, and these guys always text me. You know, they can't talk to me tomorrow when I'm actually at work. They got to do it now when I'm doing my own thing. Let's see. Glowing eyes would be cool. Yeah, glowing eyes would be cool on a Bigfoot. Hey, Matthew, that Bigfoot sold there. That was one of the bigger dollar things I sold the other day was there my little Bigfoot. I'm going to have to make another one. And I just made him last Tuesday. And that wood I'm working on is just really, really dry to begin with. Yep, he's gone. Banana eyes, yeah, no doubt. Hey, that was another thing. I was playing with Prism, and Prism has, like, you can have goggles, you can have a double beer hat. I mean, oh, I loved it. I thought it was great. Oh, well. Well, guys, I'm going to leave y'all alone. Appreciate y'all checking us out tonight. Yeah, fish eyes, that's another good idea. Hey, one of them mine rocks. He's been around a while. Here, let's hook him up. Put him in the blue man group. All right, one of them mine. Hit it. You are blue now. Is there anybody else in there we should make blue? Well, nobody said anything anyway. All right, guys, that's what I got. We will catch you Tuesday. Also, figure on you can see hey, hello from Indonesia. Glad to see you in there. What is that? Adinda? Dinda. Adinda Dinda. I think, am I doing it or saying it right? Adinda Dinda. Hey, I'm glad to have you in here. And hey, be sure and subscribe. You can check us out and some of the stuff we carve. That's it. I'll catch y'all back Tuesday night. And don't forget, Creation Dust should be on. I don't know that Perry's doing Mondays anymore. If he does, Perry Lowe Jr., Carving Wizard, I think he's doing 8 o'clock at night on Monday, maybe. I don't know. But for sure, you ought to be able to catch me on Tuesday and catch CD 777 on Wednesday. I believe Wednesday 1:30. I think they're good. We'll see. I don't know. They're on a trip or something. But anyway, that's what we got. All right, guys. Heck yeah, with a monkey, man. I appreciate that, buddy. Hey, y'all have a good night. We'll catch y'all Tuesday. Come back when you can stay.